Welcome back to the boat restoration series where I'm converting a 1940 seaplane tender into an off-grid liveaboard. In this episode we start back working on the bow hatch. There's a small leak in between the plywood frame and solid wood outer frame. So after taking a closer look, I can see that just regular silicone sealant was used here. So I'm scraping all of that out, making sure I get all of it. I also did a scrape down any old paint and then went over it once to a quick hand sand as well. So on one corner of the plywood you can see that the plies have separated, and I made sure to clean it out well, and then I poured in some resin, clamped it up nicely, and it's nice and strong now, so that's not going to delaminate or get any worse. I also applied a layer of resin around the entire end grain of the plywood, all of where the ply was showing, and it's just going to guarantee that no moisture is going to get in there. And anyway, with a sturdy hatch cover, it's not going to happen. Next, I made up a batch of fillers, and I'm getting that into all the joints, all the corner joints of the timber frame. And I'm not using silicone here because if you use silicone, it's just really, you feel like it's not going to get into the joint as good or as well as it would if you use fillers. So fillers seems to be like more of a concrete solution. And yeah, it just really works for this kind of stuff where you can't get in deep enough, and this where the silicone wouldn't do justice here. Here I'm using Sikaflex 291i, essentially marine grade Sikaflex, and this should guarantee no leaks. Before applying the Sikaflex, ideally I should have masked off the area with masking tape, or in my case duct tape. Use whatever you have to get the job done, and it would have made it a lot neater, but just I could see a lot of grey clouds lingering above me in the sky, and I was afraid it was going to lash rain, so I kind of slacked a bit on that end of things, and just next up I'll go around it with a sharp blade, and that should clean it up nicely. So I dug out this old rusty tin of dark grey undercoat for exterior and interior use from the storage of the boat, and what I estimate this tin of paint is over 20 years old. The local shop you can buy it from is long since closed down, and if you were to go anything by like counting the rings on a tree, if you were to look at this layer of paint that's built up, I'm sure you could date how old this tin of paint is. So after removing that thick skin of paint and thoroughly mixing the tin, it surprisingly it mixed very well, very easily, and yeah, I'm satisfied with how it looks, and I went and applied a layer of it. So yeah, it looks to be the right job, and if it's anything by this test, I'm definitely going to be using this in the future if I can still get my hands on this paint, that is. So I'm just painting on a layer for testing purposes. This is on the teak at the wheelhouse entrance. As you guys have seen me paint this before with the exterior grey paint, it just is not sticking to it, and I'm really unhappy with how it's turning out. And of course, as you know, teak paint is seriously resinous, lots of oils in there, and it never really, you can never really stop it. And the reason why teak, I guess, is so good is because it's preserved so well, using with the oils that are built into it. And trying to find a paint that works with it. If you guys have any experience working with teak and putting exterior paint on teak, please do let me know in the comments below. So I painted the temporary plywood hatch cover with the same exterior dark grey undercoat, and this is just used with regular plywood. It's not by any means marine grade, and as you can see, even on the bottom right corner there, towards the corner, it's already delaminating. Yeah, so this is just as I said, temporary. I'll be either putting in marine grade plywood here to last a bit longer, or I'll just jump to using I'll make a glass hatch cover or perspex hatch cover in the near future. So thanks a million for watching the episode. I really appreciate your support. I have set up a Patreon page as well. If you do feel free to pitch in there and support my project if you'd like to. This episode is shorter than normal, and that's because I want to get videos out to you more regularly, and instead of taking so long to release new episodes, this way there'll be shorter episodes, but I'll be able to get them out more frequently, and that's the aim, to keep up with the productivity. As always guys, stay productive and have fun creating, and I'll see you in the next episode.